GTR.
Introduction to basic strumming patterns. Now before we get into some really cool strumming patterns, what we need to do first is understand how to count note values, or another way of thinking of it is, how long does a note last in time? Now fortunately for us, there's only 6 basic building blocks of note values. There's the whole note, the half note, the quarter note, the 8th note, the 16th note, and the 32nd note. Now what we're going to do is, I'm going to start the metronome at 40 beats per minute. That's a really slow tempo, and it's a great idea for you guys to start nice and slow, then be able to work your way up to faster tempos. Now the whole note receives 4 beats per measure, and it goes like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next note value is a half note. A half note receives 2 counts or 2 beats per measure. Let's go ahead and play through a couple half notes for you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next note value is a quarter note. A quarter note receives 1 beat, and there are 4 quarter notes to a measure in 4/4 timing. So let's go ahead and play through some quarter notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next note value is the 8th note. There are 2 8th notes per quarter note, and we count them like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 Our next note value is the 16th note. There are 4 16th notes to the beat, and we count it like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Our last note value is the 32nd note. There are 8 32nd notes to the beat, and we'll count them exactly the same way we did as a 16th note, except for we'll double them up. And what I mean is, when we counted the 16th notes, we said 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now with the 32nd notes, we'll double up, and we'll go like this. 1 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 4 E and a. Now if you remember, we're only going at 40 beats per minute, which is pretty slow, and that was pretty fast to count. It becomes more of a feel when we increase the tempo.